Oh, it's a great start. Okay, failed to go live. Just 2 seconds. Yeah, I think we're live. Good evening, everyone. Just put a yes in the chat bar if you could, if you can see me on screen that I am live. Just in case I haven't got any glitches here. I can see a lot of names in the chat there. Hi, Alan. How you doing? Hi, Carl Everett. Hi, Babur. Hi, Christian Samuel. Ayo Dehi, I think that's pronounced. Sorry about that. Prakash, how you doing? Jeff Clarkson, Matthew Basnet. We got 27 people on this call here, and we got about 13, I think 14, 15 on YouTube Live. So great turnout. Yes, you can hear me. That's great. The webinar's just about to start. Okay, guys, that's it. I got, as you know, I'm Adrian Hibbert. I'm based in Cardiff, in South Wales, in the UK. And I got a guest on tonight, a cryptocurrency expert based out in the States. And I'll introduce you to him very shortly. But I just want to play a quick video on what FuelCoin is all about. Basically, just a quick introduction. That's going to be the subject tonight, cryptocurrency and FuelCoin. Okay, so just listen to this video just for a couple of minutes first.
Designed to help a variety of social causes and fund disaster relief, while simultaneously being used in e-commerce as a form of payment for goods and services. This dual relationship can be achieved by a highly sophisticated group of algorithms the network runs off of, which has broken the traditional law of supply and demand. By having a fixed supply of 100 million FuelCoins, per price coin increases based on demand, which has highly contributed to the total amount of users involved. This creates a financial vehicle which the world has never seen before that has the power to continuously fuel sustainable development. Not only is FuelCoin a powerful tool for social change and the education of creating wealth, but it is a faster, more secure, and overall cheaper method to send and receive payments and transfer funds both domestically and internationally. FuelCoin is derived off of blockchain technology with some major innovations. The most notable digital payment network utilizing blockchain technology is Bitcoin. However, there are many major aspects of Bitcoin, both technically and structurally, that are impeding its further growth and adoption by mainstream society. Technologically, Bitcoin is expensive and inefficient to maintain the network. It costs millions upon millions of dollars each year for miners, which are specialized supercomputers, that support and process transactions on the Bitcoin network to run. This is not only expensive, but it creates a constant sell pressure from mining operators trying to recuperate their equipment expenses and achieve a reasonable ROI. FuelCoin brings a new and highly efficient algorithm called proof of stake, which eliminates the need for these expensive miners to support the network. This creates a digital payment system that is self-sustaining. From a structural standpoint, Bitcoin has no clear market strategy to achieve widespread adoption, as well as a struggling core advisory team that has had both its legal and financial burdens recently, which combined has caused Bitcoin to stagnate. FuelCoin solves these issues in three parts by having the strong core advisory team, the FuelCoin Foundation, based out of Nevada, consisting of several key players in a range of industries from financial services, entertainment, charities, and technology, just to name a few. This team acts as the advisory board over the FuelCoin network to ensure its continued success and to make any necessary changes to support continued growth and user adoption. Encrypted Labs Inc., which was founded to support FuelCoin, is designed to build the FuelCoin infrastructure, exchanges, security, merchant services, etc., by strategically timelining both direct investments in key partnerships and internal development to help ensure FuelCoin does not grow faster than the infrastructure can support. The FuelCoin Fund is a 503c nonprofit organization designed to leverage the power of FuelCoin into sustainable development of green technologies, charitable causes, and support, and educational initiatives. Functionality and benefits. It enables users to transfer funds in a matter of seconds anywhere in the globe for limited to no fees. It allows merchants to accept transactions without credit cards or standard processing fees. Secure storage of funds through an encrypted network and insured accounts. Limited to no personal information required, except by law, so it greatly reduces the chances of credit card fraud and identity theft. The FuelCoin network data is distributed, which means there is no central point of access into the network. Unlike a server that stores credit card information for companies which can be breached from a single point, and hackers have access to all account information of the user, for example, Target, eBay, etc., hackers would have to individually break into each user's computer to gain access to their holdings and then go through multiple layers of encryption, which is very, very difficult. It's often too time-consuming for hackers to make it worth their while. For more information and where to get started with FuelCoin, please visit fuelcrypto.com today.
Okay, guys, just 2 seconds. Just want to do that quick introduction video. Just checking the chat. Yeah, everything's okay. Everybody can hear me. Okay, guys, that was just a quick introduction video. I just only recently got involved in this new cryptocurrency called FuelCoin in the last couple of days. I think probably about 6-7 days now, and I've teamed up with the brains behind this, and who's got all the knowledge within the cryptocurrency space. And his name is Gary Connor. He's on the call now, and I can introduce you to him shortly. And we can just going to fire a lot of questions at him, find out what he's been up to over the last couple of years, and basically why we should be listening to him, and why we should be sort of taking a look at this very seriously, and sort of putting our money into the FuelCoin, you know. And so that's about it from me, guys. I'm a property expert. I don't claim to be a cryptocurrency expert, and but Gary is a cryptocurrency expert. So I'm going to pass you straight over to him and get straight into things. Gary, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's fine. That's loud and clear. So Gary, just there's nothing, like I said, was a bit rushed, this webinar tonight. Nothing was planned, and we got no slides or any sort of official presentation as of yet. This is not, first of all, guys, this is not an MLM or an affiliate program, okay? There's no sponsoring or any of that required. This is just a real cryptocurrency on a real exchange, which has been around for a few years now, and so there's none of that sort of sponsoring or recruitment. It's just getting the word out about what the potential of what this FuelCoin can do, and that's where Gary comes in. So Gary, if you can just sort of introduce yourself and sort of, you know, where you're from, and what's your experience within the cryptocurrency space. Over to you, Gary.
Well, I appreciate everybody participating and being on the call. My history is a little interesting with the cryptocurrency world. I became very familiar with Bitcoin. Adrian, can you turn your speaker down a little bit?
Yeah, I will. Just 2 seconds. Okay, fire away.
Okay. Anyway, I became familiar with Bitcoin not really shortly. You know, I heard about it in 2010 or 2011. There were smatterings in the techno world that I like to operate in. And, you know, I really didn't pay any attention to it. In fact, actually, my first Bitcoin purchase was for my daughter, who needed to get a power pack up for one of her video games. And so I can't remember exactly how many it was. I think it was 1,000 Bitcoins for $90 or something like that. It was absolutely dirt cheap. Didn't even think about it. Of course, she used it. Hindsight's 20/20. Now look what 1,000 Bitcoins would be worth today. I didn't, like everybody else, we didn't really know what Bitcoin was going to do. We had a general concept of what it might be to the world, but nobody really actually took into account how game-changing this is. Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are literally the most significant piece of disruptive technology since the birth of the internet itself. So I started to really get into it pretty deep in 2012. I had you know, there's some other crypto coins that were coming on the market around that time, Litecoin, etc. By 2014, we were, Adrian, I'm getting some feedback from you, I think.
Oh, right. That's very strange because
or somebody. There we go.
Try again. Okay. Sorry with this.
Okay. I'm back. All right, perfect. Anyway, so around 2014, we were getting really, really good. 2013, 2014, we were all getting really well educated. It was very difficult to understand what this technology was all about because the people we were talking to were high-end coders that literally don't speak, I wouldn't even say English or Spanish or Japanese. They speak alien. I muttered through that and learned what's going on, how to better explain it to the regular people. That's been one of the biggest problems with Bitcoin is people just don't get it. It's not easy. It's not like PayPal where you say, okay, PayPal, link your bank account and you can use it. Well, that's changing. That has been changing a lot since 2014. Well, let me explain how Bitcoin or how FuelCoin came about. The coin itself, the coin code, FuelCoin code, was originally designed exactly like Bitcoin, with miners supporting the network, and you know, a lot of distribution, and it was going nice. It was going quite nice, except we kind of noticed there was a trend. It seemed like every time the market would move forward or a price gain would happen, all of a sudden a whole bunch of new miners would come on and start mining the coin, and they would start selling back into the market, and that was perpetually suppressing the price of the coin. Well, if you look at it today, the same thing's happening with Bitcoin. Bitcoin has just recently gone through a block reward halving, which means instead of the miners getting 25 coins every 10 minutes, they're only getting 12 and a half. And that is the specific reason why it went from the 220s up into the 600s. That is a beautiful thing, but the net effect is still the miners contribute about $33 to $35 million a month in downward pressure on the price of the coin. The only problem at that time was that there was no other options. There was no other way to make these cryptocurrencies work until the brand new technology called proof of stake was developed, and we migrated FuelCoin. You may hear FuelCoin and FuelCoin 2. The reason why we called it FuelCoin 2 is for the ticker, so that we could actually, instead of being fuel on the market caps and exchanges and things, we had to have a ticker, so we called it FC2, FuelCoin 2. And at that point, the total supply, and this was another first in the world, rather than having the coins being mined or minted or generated in any way, all of the coins were created at once. The entire supply was brought onto the network on the very first block. And a different distribution model took place where literally you just go out and tell people about the coin, and that's when the distribution happened, was 2014, 2015, and some of 2016. The very last FuelCoin had been completely, from the pre-mine, had been completely distributed in May, I think it was May of 2016. And at that point, FuelCoin had a new feather for its cap. It's called the very first fully distributed deflationary cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, this is something that people talk about. Bitcoin, why is that important? Well, because obviously if there's nothing new being created, the price is going to start skyrocketing. Well, Bitcoin's not going to reach that goal until the year 2140. So even though that's being used as a sales or marketing point for Bitcoin, it won't be true for 100 years. So it's pretty significant that this currency, this cryptocurrency, has literally, the entire supply has been purchased by someone at some price. The entire supply is now officially deflationary. And I was speaking to Adrian earlier about what does that mean? What does it mean to the values? What does it mean to anything? Well, it is literally supply and demand. And we talked about beachfront property. If you have a 1 mile stretch of beachfront property in South Fort Lauderdale, if everybody buys all of that land and somebody else wants to get in there, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to pry that piece of land out of the guy who bought it from them before them. And so the values start to increase rapidly. And that's exactly where FuelCoin is now. There's been a little bit of changing in the organization and the development. However, the technology itself, the core code, is still managed by its original and core developers. The management structure is changing a little bit. Adrian is going to be part of this process, but it's just this is the time for FuelCoin to strive and really survive. And part of the reason that this has been a little bit on delay is because there was a plethora And there are every day a plethora of brand new coins coming out in the multi-level marketing environment. There's some that don't even actually have a blockchain technology product standing behind them, and they're making their way through the world, paying through commissions. Well, that works great for the people who are operating the multi-level marketing systems, but it doesn't work good for the actual people that just want to own some of the coins, and then as it's able to be used, they'll have some. Like, I positioned myself very well in 2012. July, for my birthday, actually. I picked up a lot of Bitcoins, and I've been very comfortable ever since. Well, since 2014, when the price of Bitcoin got up off the $6.50 mark.
Yep.
So this is the same kind of thing happening here. The FuelCoin, the reason why it's important is, number one, it doesn't have the standard down pressure on the network for the price performance based upon the miners generating new coins and dumping them on the market to pay for their supplies. This is very significant because, and by the way, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Bitcoin. I love everything about it, and I don't think Bitcoin's going to go anywhere. I believe that Bitcoin is going to be the gold standard. People won't be using it in the maybe not near future, but in the distant future. People will probably not be using Bitcoin to purchase cups of coffee and lawnmowers and clothes and things like that, because the network actually can't handle Visa transaction volumes of transactions. It can't. However, it is the backbone to this entire economy. And to purchase FuelCoins, you need to have Bitcoins. Well, that keeps Bitcoin steadily in place to be the dominant force. Something just happened again.
Okay, carry on, Gary. I'm not sure what's going on, but I wanted to have a bit of an interaction with you, ask a few questions, Q&A. But
yeah, please.
Have you got a microphone or a headset on? You maybe getting some feedback or something, or what?
I'm picking up feedback, I think, from your speakers.
That's very strange, because I do this Hangout every week, and I haven't touched any of my
it's okay.
microphones, or everything's still the same as normal. So very strange. But anyway, just for the new people, obviously everyone knows about Bitcoin. What's the main difference between Bitcoin, as you just touched on it? Then obviously the main thing about Bitcoin and FuelCoin. Why should we invest our? Obviously, I don't want to call it investment. Why should we invest our time and energy and any money we have in FuelCoin rather than putting it into Bitcoin or Litecoin or Peercoin or Dogecoin or all these other 750 plus coins in the world? You know, what's the main attraction or uniqueness about FuelCoin?
Well, some of the key highlights, and again, I am a crypto neutral person, and I do appreciate other projects. There is other platforms that are doing a really good job. I'm not going to bash on any other projects unless they're out and out scams like OneCoin. There's a lot of room for a lot of players in this space. So again, you're not going to hear me saying there's anything wrong with these other cryptocurrency projects. There are some differences though. A majority of the other cryptocurrencies all have the mining process being utilized to create their to confirm transactions, which leaves them in the same boat as Bitcoin with regards to the perpetual downward pressure on the price by the miners who need to get paid to leave their computers on. This burden has been completely shifted to every wallet on the network. Everybody who has a wallet on the FuelCoin network participates in what's called the proof of stake process. And what that means is that a very small portion of your resources are being used to help confirm transactions around the world. The more people who open up wallets, the faster and bigger and more decentralized the network gets, which is untrue with most of these mined coins. The harder it gets to mine the coins, the bigger the mining server operations have to be. Therefore, the more centralized they become. It's kind of it's opposite of what was originally intended when Bitcoin was created, which is why the network was changed around. The code was revamped with this new proof of stake algorithm, X11 algorithm.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Gary. Just explain for the newbies the difference between proof of work, I think, which Bitcoin is a proof of work, and FuelCoin is a proof of stake. What's the difference in those two words, proof of work and proof of stake?
Okay. Both algorithms have two functions. The very first function in a proof of work environment is to solve a math problem to generate new coins. As part of that math problem, those machines are requested to help process transactions and confirm transactions. So in the proof of work model, the miners are doing two things. They're making new coins and they're generating or proving transactions. Like if you buy a cup of coffee, some miner around the world says you bought a cup of coffee, then a whole bunch of other ones come through and confirm it. That is the network confirmation process. Proof of stake does the same exact thing, except there's no miners creating new coins. It looks at people with the most coins, with the oldest coins, and it drives traffic through their wallet to confirmation traffic through their wallet and gives them priority depending on how many coins they have and how old they are, and they help confirm transactions. You bought a cup of coffee, a wallet somewhere says, yep, he bought a cup of coffee, then a whole bunch of other ones come through and confirm it. That's the proof of stake model. So essentially, rather than having new coins generated at tremendous cost, like to the network, such as Bitcoin at $33.5, $34, $35 million a month, there's no cost to confirm transactions. The network then rewards people with a small staking reward, proof of stake reward, saying thank you for letting us use some of your resources that you can't see in the background, but any fees generated by the network are shared with those wallets. And there are also actually some new coins being generated every year just to make sure that the supply doesn't disappear. And that's something else we can touch on later.
Yeah. So out of all the 750 plus coins on out there, how many of them are proof of stake compared to how many of them are proof of work?
I would say 2/3 are going to be maybe higher than that. About 80% are going to be proof of work or some variant thereof.
So it's better than to be a proof of stake coin like FuelCoin is compared to be a proof of work coin. Is that right?
Yes, and the other reason that's important is the proof of stake coin or the proof of stake algorithm is like 150 times faster than Bitcoin. If you send a Bitcoin transaction to something like an exchange or something like that, you could literally be waiting between 30 minutes and 6 hours before you can actually start using that Bitcoin on the exchange. That's
okay.
because their block time is it's a 10-minute block time, and sometimes it requires 6 confirmations, which means it's 60 minutes. If the network's busy, it could be hours. Proof of stake coins generally operate within 3 seconds to see it, 3 minutes to use it.
So does that mean if I want to send, if I want to send $1 million then from the UK to somebody in China, obviously I can do that with Bitcoin. That's going to take a few hours. Could I actually, I know it may be early, could I actually do that with FuelCoin right now, or is it still early days for that yet?
Well, the entire network or the entire market is only $1.2 million, so that'd be basically all of the coins available on the network if you could get your hands on them. But you could send 1 million coins to China, and they'll see it within 3 seconds of you hitting the button go, and they'll be able to use it again within typically 3 minutes of receiving that confirmation.
And they can could convert the coins then back into Bitcoin and back into whatever currency of their choice then, is that right?
Absolutely, and that's why it's on the open public exchange, so that people, if they do need to cash out their FuelCoins, you just go to the market and you sell them for Bitcoin, you transfer the Bitcoins to whatever mechanism you use to go in and out of the fiat dollar. That will change in the future.
Right, okay.
You won't have to go to Bitcoin.
That's interesting. So what you're saying is that you can just exchange FuelCoins back into dollars, euros, pounds, yens, rupees, rather than going through Bitcoin first.
This is the goal for the Bitcoin world, Bitcoin community, and or cryptocurrency world, is to create portals so that not just Bitcoin can be used to do that, but all of the relevant cryptocurrencies. And versus trying to create all of our own stuff at tremendous, I mean, we're talking $500,000 to $2 or $3 million to create some of these portals. There are companies that are working towards that are multi-crypto compatible, such as Shapeshift.
Right. Okay. Just explain the algorithms, because FuelCoin is an X11 algorithm. And what is Bitcoin, and why all these techie words like X11, and where does all this come from? You know,
I almost think that this might not be the right format for explaining that exactly.
Right.
Let's just say it's a difference between English and Spanish.
Right. Okay. That's all I need to know. That's fine. So let's talk about how do we all these cryptocurrencies coming and going out there. As you said, there's a lot of scams out there. I'm going to share my screen to show some of the people on here tonight. Easier. What's the easiest way of checking if a coin is for real and it's not a scam? You know, I'm going to share. What screen do you want me to share? Do you want me to share Chainsy, or which screen do you want me to share to explain to people is best for that, to check if a coin is for real? It's on a real exchange.
Oh, okay. There's two places. You can look at any open public exchange. If it's listed there, it's probably not I shouldn't say it's not a scam. It is openly and publicly traded.
So what is this site then? Chainsy.cryptoid.info. I'm going to put it in the chat so people can take a look at it in their own time. What's this site?
This is another. The Chain site is the actual block explorer for many different crypto coins. Rather than writing our own code, we went ahead and used this service for that code. And it allows you to search the blockchain. So if you want to see how many coins are out there, what the distribution is, you want to see the transactions going by like you can with Bitcoin, it's done from Chains. Now, if you look at that coinmarketcap.com, that's probably a better example of real coins, because the owner of coinmarketcap.com has been vigilant about vetting scams. And if a coin isn't on that list, or if it's extremely far down that list, it may not be a relevant coin, or it could be a flat out scam. Anybody can apply to be on the list, but how many supply he shows is up to his vetting. So most of those coins in the top 100 are very relevant cryptocurrencies. And like I said, there's going to be a lot of winners in this space. We're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar industry to disrupt. So there's going to be winners.
I've just put a search in. Obviously, there's a search bar here, so you can search for any coin. And I've just put FuelCoin in the search bar here, and obviously it shows it's there, FC2. So that shows that this is a real coin then, and it's been checked out. Is that right? Before it's allowed onto this platform, CoinMarketCap.
Absolutely, and it also shows the entire supply of the coin because it has been provenly distributed. There's other proof of stake coins that have a pre-mine also, and a pre-mine means the entire supply exists today, but it hasn't been distributed. So, and leave the. Boy, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Leave that there for a second.
Okay.
Go back to the CoinMarketCap in that chart.
There's CoinMarketCap.
Okay. I'd like to point out that big spike at the very beginning of the history.
Yep.
That spike was directly caused because there were no coins distributed on the market. And over the last year and a half, all of those have been distributed. And then if you look, the market is now starting to go back up because the distribution it's done. There's no new coins going out. At this point, we're all now fighting for the coins back from one another.
So this point here, when it hit the peak, how much was that in dollars and cents? That point there, can you remember back then? Was it January 2015 when it hit the peak?
Well, that peak based on the price of Bitcoin, each coin was about 7 cents.
So it hit around 7 cents back in December, January 15, then, did it?
That is correct.
Right, and obviously it's gone down ever since, but now since we've teamed up, obviously in the last 7 to 10 days, as you can see on the right here, it started to take back off again.
Yes, and that spike looks really, really huge. Remember, it only got to 7 cents. So we're already at 1.5 cents essentially.
And to check the price, that is this an accurate price on here, 0.013818, or is this a delayed price compared to Bittrex?
Bittrex is the real-time price, but this price is pretty fast. It's accurate.
Let's go on to Bittrex then. There's the Bittrex price. It's showing 0.0133. Is that right? Are you on the right-hand side?
There's a little bit of a spread that's not accurate. However, they're all about right.
Yeah. So this, how much was this coin about 7 days ago? It was about was it 1/10 of a cent? Was it something like that? Was it, or was it 10/10 of it, or was it 100th of a cent? Can you remember?
Well,
7 days ago.
It was when we actually first started getting re-engaged and we started activating all of the diehard FuelCoin members, etc. It was trading at 100 satoshis.
Yeah.
It's now at 2,000 satoshis.
So that's 200. That's 250 times, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot more than that.
If it's gone from 100 satoshis to 2,500 satoshis at that peak there.
Yeah, so we're talking about an almost 2,000% increase since then.
Yeah, 2,500% increase.
Yep.
So if you would have put 1,000, I'd like that just for people on the street. If you would have put $1,000 into this 10 days ago, in theory that could be worth 250,000 today. Is that right?
If you put $1,000 in 10 days ago, that would have been about 600,000 coins.
Yeah.
And now it's 600,000 times 1.3.
So around 60, 70, $80,000 then.
That's correct.
Yeah. And that's all in 1 week.
1 week. And we really haven't even spread our wings. This is actually the very first call, organized call. Everything else has just been word of mouth, little social media here and there, just in the last week and a half.
So what is the plan? Obviously, this big green candle here, it went all the way up and up and up, and then it's obviously dropped back. Just explain to people obviously the green candles are going up, the red candles are coming down. What is the plan for FuelCoin? Do we want a nice sort of spread of green candles gradually growing up, or do we want a lot of these ups and downs and peaks and troughs, or what's best for the platform and the coin?
Well, we want it to look exactly like this, but repeating itself every time. You're always going to see a spike in the price, a little dip in a valley before it runs back up and finds its actual floor. And now the floor is 2,100 satoshis, somewhere in there.
That's right. So yeah, it's sitting at 2,175 now. Is that right? The price there?
That's correct.
Right. And
so we can anticipate in a short period of time that we're going to probably go from 2,000 to 4,000. Once we cross the 10,000 satoshi mark, the 1,000 satoshi price points melt away like it's one digit.
So what the 10,000 satoshi price? How much is that in cents for the
That's
viewer?
about 6 cents.
6 cents. So that's about 6 times more than what it is today.
Correct.
Just repeat that again. When it gets to 6 cents, what's going to happen?
When it's at 6 cents, we're going to be crossing the 10,000 satoshi mark.
Yeah.
And when more Bitcoin orders come in and we reach out further around the world, more people come in. Rather than fighting to go from 2175 to 2190 to 2250, we're going to go from 10,000 to 11,000, 11 to 12, 12 to 15.
Right.
It goes fast. It really picks up.
So we could see it carry on going then from 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cents up. It'll go faster.
I will personally be very surprised based on everything that is aligning for FuelCoin if we aren't able to reach at least 3 to 4 cents by, it's October now, probably the middle of November.
Wow. Okay, that's good news. And then what does that depend on? That obviously that depends on the likes of everyone sort of contributing, and I'm assuming getting, like I've done now the last 7 days, got the exposure out there, just a bit of word of mouth. And I've sent you a good few orders in the last day or so, and I got a few more to send to you tonight. We all have to sort. This is not an MLM or an affiliate program. We're not getting paid an affiliate commission, but we certainly we should get out there and just put some posts up there on FuelCoin, do some tweets, and get some social media exposure out there about FuelCoin. Is that right? So that will help, wouldn't it?
That's 100% correct. And this is a kind of a mindset change because a lot of people are looking for a multi-level business. This has how do you put it? It has a passive income potential, because if you purchase your coins for 2,000 Satoshis and it's now 4,000 Satoshis, you just got your payment of doubling your money.
Yeah.
But this isn't a Ponzi scheme either. This is a real life cryptocurrency. And as we get the market where it needs to be and are relevant enough, we can talk to places like Shapeshift, get the coin on that platform, and then you can use it to buy stuff.
All right, okay, that's what you meant by so you can start using it to buy with online merchants or cups of coffee in town, or just online merchants, you mean?
Any place that accepts Bitcoin, Shapeshift can shift your FuelCoins into Bitcoins, and you can use it any place Bitcoins are accepted. So
Starbucks, I can buy a cup of coffee with Bitcoin in Starbucks where I live. So I could do the same with FuelCoins. Is that what you're saying?
Through the Shapeshift platform, yes. But there's also more things being developed. BitPay has just recently created a BitPay Visa card. I live on my Bitcoins 100%. I haven't had real fiat money come into my house for 3 years. And I literally live on my Bitcoins, and I use my BitPay Visa card to take care of all of my personal needs. Obviously, there's a lot of places you can spend Bitcoins, but BitPay is doing more to open up to more altcoins. Altcoins are anything that's not Bitcoin. Let's put it that way. So I can't give you a time frame on that. We don't control that, but that is definitely what the industry has pointed towards, is to allow multiple cryptocurrencies on platforms like BitPay, where they have a Visa attachment.
Right, and all these other altcoins on CoinMarketCap.com. Your number one is Bitcoin, number two is Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, all these, Monero, Dash. Are all these? They're all completely different in each other's way. They all aim to do different things, do they? Or are they similar to FuelCoin, all these other coins here?
They all have kind of their own little niche. I can also point out that that there are at least 5 on the top 12 that were all created by one group of people for different reasons. Mm-hmm. And they're not going to probably be used as a currency. They're going to be used for other blockchain type technology projects. Ethereum was not designed as a currency. It was designed as a data shift management. I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole. Oftentimes when I talk to people, I make their eyes glaze over. I'll just say that Litecoin and Bitcoin are squarely in the currency market. FuelCoin is squarely in the currency market. Ethereum is not actually designed to be a currency. It's for a distributed data platform.
So a FuelCoin, have they got much competition then with other currency cryptos? Are they got FuelCoins got any competition then with the technology in other cryptocurrencies in the top 10 or top 20?
An argument can be made that pretty much all of the coins on the CoinMarketCap, I think they're listing 700 or 800. I can't see the bottom list. I never looked that far down. They're irrelevant. But I would say that about half or more of the top 100 are all competing for that same space. That seems like a lot until you realize that there's 173 currencies in 173 different countries. So there's a lot of room for growth for everybody. This is ground floor for the entire industry. And anybody who's listening to this call, I promise you, this is as big as the little pimply kid coming to you and saying, hey, I've got this idea for this thing called Facebook. Would you like to join? This is bigger than that. This is Facebook, eBay. It's the internet. It's the World Wide Web combined. It is the single most disruptive technology to come to human existence in the history of humanity, period.
Wow.
It's going to be the greatest shift of wealth ever in the history of humanity. blockchain technologies will change the way we interface our money supply.
Okay, that's incredible. Just explain these figures here with FuelCoin. Market cap, there's 100 million, 206,000 distributed fuel coins. Is that right? They've already been mined. Is that right? Available supply?
The available supply is the entire network supply of FuelCoins, yes. Now, there are roughly 200,000 new FuelCoins generated to say thank you to all of those wallet holders for helping them confirm transactions. But that's almost a bare minimum for how many is necessary, because I was explaining to Adrian earlier, about a year and a half ago, I sent 500,000 coins to somebody who gave me a dead wallet, meaning they're gone forever. I know for a fact there's at least 500,000 FuelCoins that are gone forever. So if you don't inject new coins, ultimately in time, your overall coin supply could dwindle down to nothing. That's a problem. That's why new coins have to be generated. However, FuelCoin is at what we consider the bare minimum for generation yearly, which is 200,000. And that goes down in 3 years. That'll get cut in half again.
So how are you going to generate more coins then with FuelCoin? Then that's gone up 206,000. How are you going to generate another 206,000?
We will see year to year until, like, it's almost 3 years now. On year number 4, it's supposed to drop down to 100,000 annually. Right now, it's 200,000. It's 2% annual reward on the initial supply of 100 million. So, right. I apologize. I get so confused with time, because this has just been such a wash the last 3 years for me, 3.5, 4 years. The block reward should cut in half sometime in June or July of 2018. So there will only be 100,000 coins being introduced to the market, and then again in 4 years that'll be cut in half. So there's only going to be 50,000 coins. All
right. So the 100 million will always be there, but the 206,000 that's being halved, and that's dropping every 4 years then.
Yes, that's the new supply that is generated, because literally people lose coins. There's a laptop somewhere in the UK that has about $15 million worth of Bitcoins on it, because the guy threw the laptop away when he didn't think there was anything on it. So you do need to create new coins. That kind of flies in the face of saying it's the world's first deflationary cryptocurrency, but the inflation is so minute, it's still deflationary.
Right, okay. I just want to check some questions in the chat. The other question I got, we had a long conversation again this morning. Just explain about we're on Bittrex. You know, this is where Bittrex is where you store your coins. You know, you mentioned there's 3 ways of storing FuelCoin. You can store it on Bittrex. You can store it on a desktop on your computer actually, and there's also you mentioned
let's stop there.
Stacey as well. Or Stacey, 3 different ways. Is that right?
Yeah. Let's only talk about 2 right now. Obviously, if you leave your coins on Bittrex, you're leaving your coins in their wallet, and they're the ones staking for you. They keep the staking rewards. If you have your own local wallet, like we helped set up Adrian here a couple days ago, and you have coins there, then you will be participating in the network activity and receiving small staking rewards as it's necessary.
So we can earn free FuelCoins then by leaving our computer switched on, and it actually is mining more. Is it mining more coins? Is that the right word, or is it just staking more coins?
We'll call it staking to be accurate to the term. A lot of people are going to see it mining. It is generating mined coins. That's how the stake rewards come in. They say mined, but it's actually it's staking. And it's a reward for saying thank you for your small amount of resources.
So it's worth leaving my computer switched on 24/7 then to get that reward. Is that right?
Absolutely, and it also helps the network. The more wallets that are open, the faster and stronger the network gets.
Right. Okay, that's really interesting.
And that's the other thing I'm going to talk about real quick. This is significant because let's pretend 1% of the Visa network transactions were put onto the Bitcoin network. It would take days to confirm transactions. Literally, the infrastructure to support that one-night jump would crush the Bitcoin network. It just doesn't have the horsepower to do it. In time, there would be enough miners kicking back on and upgrading and things like that, that it would keep up with it, but it can't handle explosive growth overnight. The way FuelCoin is designed and proof of stake coins are designed, if we have 1% of the Visa network thrown onto the FuelCoin network, that means that there's probably 300,000 or 400,000 wallets got opened at the exact same time. All of a sudden, the network grew exponentially in minutes for free. And that means something, because there is no overhead to increase the size of the network. It's just people opening up and sharing small parts of their resources on all of these computers. So the more people come on, the faster and stronger and more distributed this coin gets.
Right. Okay, that's very interesting. Let me just go through some of these questions. There's a lot of them building up here. When are the hold on. Prakash is asking, is Bittrex the same? Sorry, Prakash, you'll have to give me a ring on that tomorrow. I'm not sure if you're comparing Bittrex to CoinMarket. Bittrex and CoinMarketCap are completely two separate things, aren't they, Gary?
Yeah, Bittrex is actually the open public exchange where people trade crypto coins. CoinMarketCap is just a list of the coins available on those exchanges, and it's showing their activity on those exchanges.
Right.
It's
okay.
like the best way to look at CoinMarketCap, that's the little green ticker thing you're seeing on the bottom of the news channel, financial news channel. It's the ticker site.
Okay, that's great. Emmanuel's asking, when can we start investing? You wouldn't call this an investment, would you?
Well, the way I like to look at it, it's just like I was sitting looking at Bitcoin in July of 2012, and I bought my Bitcoins at $6.50. I'm participating in an opportunity to be at the ground level of something that's going to change the world.
And it doesn't come much cheaper than 1 cent right now to buy a coin, really, does it? It doesn't get much lower, really.
The truth, in my humble opinion, this is only opinion, please don't use it to make any decisions, but this is my humble opinion. I think that FuelCoin should realistically be trading in the 25-cent realm in the coming months. That's about what its value should be.
Okay, that's good. That sounds exciting. Alan Jones is making a comment here. So it's like encouraging people to buy gold and silver to help drive the price up.
You've hit the nail on the head.
So obviously a few other people, some of the other people are going to react to that and say, are you then sort of manipulating the price or controlling the price or not in a way, or is it just a natural increase?
Well, this is kind of an interesting philosophy. Obviously, the coin is open and publicly traded. People are welcome to enter and exit at any price they want, at any time they want. There is no control over people's money. However, we do try to manage the market and smooth out the peaks and the valleys. And whenever a person orders through Adrian, I fill his orders from coins that I bought off the market. And so rather than having just a free-for-all shooting gallery out there, FuelCoin actually has a little market management. Now, it isn't control, and it's not guaranteed. It's just managed, and that makes a difference. The great world of cryptocurrency, they all thought that everybody could go out there and run around in the streets and come to a consensus and everything be hunky-dory. Well, no, it doesn't work that way, which is why Bitcoin has what they call the Bitcoin Foundation. There has to be some sort of management and or focal point for infrastructure, and there is actually a lot of infrastructure behind FuelCoin. We can't get away from some sort of management on anything of this significance. Now, it is nice that it's not being controlled by elite media groups. It's not being controlled by any governments. It's not being controlled by special interests. It's being controlled by the people. But there is a little management in the FuelCoin market, and it's done through calls and redistribution, I should say, through these channels.
Just explain the difference then between the terms for the new people, decentralized and centralized. What's the difference between decentralized and centralized, and what is Bitcoin compared to FuelCoin from a point of decentralized and centralized, and all the other coins on the exchange as well?
Okay. Any and all cryptocurrencies would be considered decentralized currencies because they are not controlled by a centralized bank or government. That is the key. Decentralized means that the people own it, control it. There might be a little bit of centralization for management of the network itself. Bitcoin is becoming more and more centralized because less and less normal people are mining out of their homes on the Bitcoin network. It's getting too expensive and too hard. And now you're starting to see these major conglomerations like Genesis Mining and PDP Pool and other things like that that are capitalizing on all of the mining. Therefore, it's becoming centralized, and they're kind of having a call on everything that happens. They're becoming their own entity, so to speak. FuelCoin and other coins like FuelCoin will be completely decentralized because it doesn't rely on mining. The more people who would join the network, the less and less centralized it becomes. That was the whole point behind Bitcoin to begin with, by the way.
Right. Okay. Just check some more questions here. How do we? That was a good question. Alan is asking, how do you prevent losing your coins? So obviously, we talked about that earlier. So if you want to go through that again, Gary, that'd be interesting. How do you protect losing your coins?
Well, so we don't get mired in technicals. Let's just say that the local wallet that you download onto your computer, you can password protect and back it up on a thumb drive, and you will never lose your coins. If you risk them on an exchange, now Bittrex is an incredibly trusted exchange. Their security is way beyond that of the Visa network, I'll tell you. It's not going to get hacked like Target and eBay and all these other places. That's a safe place to kind of leave your coins, but even the best people fail. Even the best exchanges fall. It happens. But if you keep your coins on your own personal wallet with the backup tools and resources that we have available for you, you can be rest assured you're not going to lose your coins unless you're a complete ding-dong and you don't follow the instructions.
Right, okay, and that's what we did this afternoon, didn't we? We've set up, what's the right terminology, an external desktop wallet. Is that what we done this afternoon, wasn't it?
We set up a desktop wallet for you, and then we encrypted the wallet so nobody but you could ever get into it, and then we backed up the wallet onto a separate piece of hardware that you will never lose, even if your computer gets stolen.
Let me just show my camera on my other computer here. I got a view of that. There's my other computer, guys, and my Windows. I'm running on a Mac now, but this is my Windows computer, and there's the external wallet there, sitting on my desktop, and that's fully synced, and that's sort of staking away. You can see the tick in it. What's that tick in the bottom right-hand corner and the black bars and the lock, Gary? What's that?
Well, first I'm going to point out that your wallet is no longer unlocked and staking, so we'll talk about that. The next thing over is the green up arrow. The up arrow, when it turns green, it's actually actively participating in the network confirmation staking process. The little signal bars, like the cell phone bars, shows how many connections to the network you have. The black check means that you're fully synchronized and fully on the network.
So I'm not staking you right now, am I?
No, because as soon as you sent somebody a coin, it automatically defaults to fully locked down position. You have to go and unlock your wallet again for staking only after that.
Oh, and by unticking that check, you mean? Is it? I'm checking that tick box.
You leave the check box ticked,
yeah,
but you have to re-enter your password again after you send somebody coins.
Yeah, that's right. I sent some coins to this afternoon. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Is it so? Yeah, Christine is asking, and so anyone can buy these coins. Is it best to buy on the exchange directly himself, or is it best to come through myself? Christine is asking, and
well,
just explain the benefits of doing what we talked about, Gary, doing these sort of job lots or bulk deals through myself rather than on the exchange and doing it yourself.
Well, there's the main advantage to purchasing direct is, number one, we control those Bitcoins and we can use them to help to monitor the market. What we're also able to do, let's say you were going to go and use 5 Bitcoins to purchase FuelCoins off the market. Right now the price is $21.75. I think there's a bigger order there, but that's not normal. Normally, if you're spending 5 Bitcoin on the market, you could actually spend as much as 27 or 2,800 Satoshis, 400 or 500 Satoshis more than we're going to be able to fund you in one bulk order direct.
Right. So basically then, even if somebody was just purchasing 1 Bitcoins with a FuelCoin, which is about $638 right now, or even $100 or even $200 worth, as low as that, they're better off making an order through myself than going direct to Bittrex, as I'm sharing my screen now, and going direct on the exchange and buying it themselves. They're better off coming through myself. That's the better way to do it, is it?
Absolutely, because you're going to get your coins for one price, not a range of prices.
That's right. Just explain these 2 columns. I'm sharing my screen again. You've got the bids, you've got the buy, you've got the bids on the left and the asks on the right. The asks on the right here, these are people looking to sell. Is that right? That's
correct. So it actually looks like a person could spend 2.1 Bitcoins and purchase at 2,100 Satoshis.
Yeah.
Well, every order is looked at individually and for its size when we actually settle an order direct. But if we're taking a snapshot right now and you have 5 Bitcoins, you cannot purchase a FuelCoin for less than 2,094 Satoshis. And there's only 32 of them.
Yeah.
We will probably fund that at 2050, which is under the current market for a 5 Bitcoin order.
Wow. So that's I don't know if people realize that's quite a. You'd have to go up to purchase 5 Bitcoins. You'd have to go right up to 2177, wouldn't you? Or 21 further on up, wouldn't you?
2177.
And you would do it for 2050, or
and we do direct for about 2050, and that's a snapshot right now. Now let's be a little bit more realistic. We do get orders for 20 Bitcoin. If you're going to fill a 20 Bitcoin order, Adrian, go to the next page.
The page 2, right? There you go.
Yep. Keep going.
Page 3.
Keep going. We're only at 18. Keep going. Again, another page.
There you go, 20. There you go, 20.
So a person trying to fill a 20 Bitcoin order would spend 3,506 Satoshis. We would probably settle that for 2,200 Satoshis direct. So it's 1,000 Satoshis less.
Right, that's what's that in money? Is that a big 1,000 Satoshis? How much of a saving is that?
Well, on 20 Bitcoins, that's about 2.3 Bitcoins. So 6 times 2.3, that's $1,200 savings.
Yeah. Well, more than that, yeah, because Bitcoin is 638 now, yeah.
Yeah.
Just to explain the other thing as well, which is quite interesting. When the price of Bitcoin goes up, the price of your FuelCoin value goes up as well, doesn't it? Just even if FuelCoin doesn't move, and Bitcoin goes up tomorrow, then your FuelCoin has gone up. How does that work?
Okay, now this is the neatest thing. This is kind of like a win on top of a win. When Bitcoin goes up, if the Satoshi price of FuelCoin doesn't change, the overall value of FuelCoin increases with Bitcoin. So basically, let's take 2,000 Satoshis. Bitcoin's at $630. If you have 100 coins and Bitcoin goes to 650, your 100 coins, even though the price of FuelCoin didn't change on the market,
yeah,
your value, your US dollar or euro or whatever fiat value went up with Bitcoin. Now, the best part is Bitcoin goes up and FuelCoin goes from 2,000 Satoshis to 3,000 Satoshis. You just got a win on top of a win.
Yeah, a win-win, yeah. So, yeah, that's quite, I think a lot of people don't realize that, do they?
It takes a little getting used to. This is kind of a new world for everybody. But this is the other thing about FuelCoin. There are groups of people who are so helpful. You won't be thrown into the wolves. You won't be ignored. We'll include you in all the groups, and everybody can be part of this.
Okay, what about the you've got you've got a Skype group which has been obviously pretty quiet for the last last few months, but you're bringing that back up. Is that right? The Skype group?
Yes, yes. There was a number of things that we had to overcome with regards to the blockchain itself. We released a few more patches and things. Now that we got all of that done, we're about ready to relaunch the new website, and we've fired up the community, so to speak. And we will bring anybody who wants to come into the Skype chat at any time they like.
Okay, that's good news. Let me just go back to the chat. Prakash is asking, do we need another laptop? You don't need another laptop, do you, to stake, or just use the existing laptop? Is that right, Gary?
Yeah, correct. It uses about as many resources as a flashing advertising on Facebook, that changes pictures. It doesn't take anything really to operate it. And we do have both the Windows and a Macintosh wallet.
Okay, that's great. So Greg is asking, so well, obviously we've gone through that. How can he buy FuelCoin? So he's got two choices, really. You can either go on the exchange and buy it, or you can come through me. Is that right, Dan Gary? Two choices, really?
That's pretty much it. You're always going to generally get a better price going through a direct, we're going to call them direct distributors. And all of you people are invited to become direct distributors with Adrian.
Yeah, that's right, absolutely. While we're on the subject of buying, let's twist that around. What about when people want to sell? Is it better to come directly to me via yourself to sell, or just go straight to the exchange to sell?
The only time that any buying or any selling or buying happens is on the exchange.
So if somebody wants to sell FuelCoins, don't come through me for that. Just go straight to the exchange, straight to Bittrex. Yes,
because any Bitcoins that come in are applied to the market, and they're there to support the market, and they're there for people if they need to sell for some reason. And the whole point of that is to build this, what we call a big Bitcoin buy bubble, to where we can take the price up, and we're going to be able to continue to increase the price, but we're going to have so many Bitcoins in buy support that there isn't anybody that'll be able to sell through it and drop the price from these points that we create. Now, we just recently literally put the market back where it needed to be at 2,000 Satoshis. So we're kind of fighting that little battle right now, but as this activity continues, you can expect to see the buy support grow very significantly and substantially as the price goes up. So at any time anybody wants to cash out, they can.
Okay, so but you basically you do need people obviously buying and selling all the time, because that creates volume, doesn't it? On the those figures are noted then, aren't they, on the likes of Bittrex, isn't they, on the top 10, 20? Is that right?
Absolutely. Volume is nice, but that's not something that is necessary for people to assist on the buy side, because we have that handled.
Right.
We do hope, literally, I'm not even going to kid around about this. If you literally get twice as many dollars in value, let's say you buy 1,000 coins, right, and they double in value, please sell 500 back. We're going to need them. In a way, we almost rely on some profit taking to continue offering the direct distributing.
Yeah, that's a fair point, because obviously I'm out to accumulate as many as I can, but at the end of the day, if somebody comes through myself, obviously via yourself, and they put they buy a couple of $1,000 worth of FuelCoin, if in 2 months' time they want to sell, I'd be in a position to buy them back anyway, Gary, wouldn't I? Is that a good idea?
There's a multitude of reasons that you don't want to open up that relationship with people.
Right.
The primary one is it's a pain in the ass. I'm sorry for using the word. It's easier just to work off of Bittrex. But again, the way this model is set up, and I've been doing this, the market management for this and many other crypto coins, and a lot of them you probably heard of, for a very long time. I'm very good at it. This is set up to hopefully start getting people taking some profits and holding some coins. Obviously, the smarter people, if they've doubled their money, They don't sell their coins because if they want to get them back, they're going to have to pay more. That's the way it works. But we do hope that that we continue to meet these little, what we call resistance points, so that we can reaccumulate, so that we can continue to offer direct distributing through these channels. There may come a time where we can't, and it's over.
Yeah, the guy on the call, you know, he had a trouble getting on because he was maxed out. Matthew Feast, I just see, how you doing, Matthew? Matthew came in a few days ago. I think he only had a $500 order, but you secured a price him for around about 550. I think it was around about 550 satoshis. So
that's
now,
correct.
Matthew could, in theory, now, because it's around 2,000 satoshis now, in theory, he's quadrupled his money, isn't he?
In what, 2 days, 3 days? I think you just got the coins this morning.
Yeah, that's right. I've sent him the coins. So if he wanted to now, he could get his 500. He could sell and potentially get his $500 back, couldn't he? And just leave the others in there as free coins.
Absolutely, but is he going to be smart or not? Because if it went to 2,000 and it's going to continue to go up, do you want to risk that you're not going to be able to keep that many coins for that price? That's the quandary. But see, this changes the way people think about money. I literally have been living on what we call a deflationary currency for the last 3.5 years. I think about if I want to go out and spend $150 on a pair of slacks, because I know when I go and look back at Bitcoin price in the next 6 months or so, I will have spent $300 or $400 on those same pants because of how many Bitcoins I used. And the same is true here. It's a different way to look at your money, and it's probably the most healthy thing that I've ever gone through. And my wife, who loves to shop, she thinks that way too, and we actually think about the money that we use. When you're on a fiat system using these inflationary currencies that are being thrown on us in the world, the very first thing you want to do when you get a bunch of it is spend it on something that doesn't change in value, like land and gold. Well, that's not true with this. You don't want to spend it. The last thing you want to do is spend this stuff, because when you look back in 6 months, it's worth a lot more than you sold it for.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm acquiring as many as I can of FuelCoins, that's for sure. Same as I'm keeping my Bitcoins as well. But Alan's asking a question. So we need more buyers than sellers to keep the price rising. When there's more sellers than buyers, and the price will decrease.
That is true. However, the way that I apply Bitcoins to the market, usually what we're going to see is getting stuck or resistance. We're rarely going to see a time when the buy support bubble is popped. And, you know, it's kind of thin right now, but a person who wants to sell a ton of coins today, they're going to be devastated with how little they get for them, because that's where the buy support's at today. But as this grows, the bubble will go and grow up and keep building to where even the biggest FuelCoin holder, if they were a ding dong and they sold all at once, they'd cash out all of it at that one price. But right now, the buy support, if a person was going to throw 1 million coins on the market, which I don't think there's anybody in the world that's stupid, they would not be selling them for 2,000 satoshis. They'd be getting their all of their order filled somewhere around 500. So yeah, there's checks and balances there.
So who are all these? Let me share my screen again. Who are all these people then that have all these sell orders in FuelCoin? All these orders of people trying to sell at. Let's go back to the first one, yeah, first page. All these guys trying to sell for 2,000, 2,100 satoshis, 2,200. What are all these people?
Well, they're probably people who were paying attention back when it was around 1 and 2 and 3 and 400 satoshis. I tried really hard to keep this under wraps, but I know that a couple people in some of these groups leak information, and I did notice that some coins were being gathered up outside of this model in those lower prices, which is fine. Like I said, we need those coins because the next 10 Bitcoin order that comes through, guess what? They're going to get paid off. I'm happy to see them at that low price because the price is going to go up from where they're selling them at. We rely on people doing that.
So we need buyers then still to fulfill these sell orders of people who want to get out for whatever reason. Or they're getting out temporary and going to come back in later.
They will typically come back again. This is one of the other problems with all cryptocurrency markets. There is a drove of people who think that they're going to be day traders and they're going to get rich working from home, playing the crypto coin market. Now, in other markets, even in Bitcoin, you know, there could be a $3 to $10 swing a day. And you can actually make a pretty decent little nick when you have enough Bitcoins. We're talking, $100,000 or $200,000 worth of Bitcoin. You can make a pretty decent little living doing that with the swings. Well, because FuelCoin has centralized price management, if they try to play in this particular coin, they'll usually wind up selling for a price and re-entering at a higher price. Or if they sell all at once, they're going to crush it down below what it is, and then the price will get put right back to where it was before they started. And that's another kind of not hidden, but that's a difference. That's another difference with FuelCoin.
Right, okay. That's great. Let me just, Christine Sam was asking, how do we get, basically, how do we buy them? Just set up a Bittrex. Everyone who wants to get involved here, Gary, just set up an account with Bittrex, and it's a free account, isn't it? Just open up a free account, username and password, and then I can send the coins into the Bittrex account. Is that right? Which I've already done anyway to a few people.
Yeah, and at that point, Adrian, I'm going to leave that to your discretion how you handle the orders. We will be teaching people when we're ready, probably next week. We'll be teaching people how to get their local wallets and encouraging them to get them off of Bittrex and onto the local wallets, because it helps the network a lot.
So the Bittrex, set up an account on Bittrex for now as a temporary method, and then we can perhaps do a video then or some kind of recording to show people how to set up an external wallet so they can start to get free coins through the staking. Is that right?
That is correct. And just so everybody is fully aware, this is the first call with an almost ready launch. I mean, we've been out for 2 years, 2.5 years, but we've revamped everything.
Okay, that's great.
We haven't even started.
So this is right in at I'm assuming these prices are never going to be seen again. 1 cent, just over 1 cent. Now it's going to be a thing of the past now. That's what I would have thought.
Well, there may be a point where we get stuck at a price. That's fine. We didn't lose any value, but I don't think we're going to see 2 cents for very long. I mean, for 1 cent for very long.
But that only depends on all of us working together as a team and getting the word out, getting the exposure of FuelCoin. If there's nobody starts buying the coins, there's not going to be any, on the negative side, there's not going to be any increase. Is that right? We got to get out there and work together and start getting the word out to buy these coins.
That's exactly it. Now, and again, back to the whole network marketing thing. So many people work so hard to get that sign up and build their tree.
Yeah.
You're not being asked to do that. If you own coins, it's in your best interest to share the information with people, because the more people, it's a finite supply. We're basically trying to redistribute all the gold in the world. And right now it's a penny. And the more people who want some gold, the more it's going to be worth. And so you don't have to sell anything, but it's to your benefit and everybody else's that you bring people to the table.
Right, okay. While we're on the subject here, for people that already haven't got a FuelCoin wallet, once you're logged in, you just click on the wallets at the top here. And for example, I've already got a FuelCoin wallet, but say, for example, Dogecoin, I haven't got a Dogecoin wallet. Imagine this Dogecoin was FuelCoin. You would just click on the plus number here, and you click on new address. And that generates an address here. And now this is the wallet address for FuelCoin, for example. Is that right, Gary?
That's absolutely correct.
So I just generated an address now for Dogecoin. So if I come out of that, then if I want to buy Dogecoin, or if I want to get somebody to send me in Dogecoin, I've got I go onto Dogecoin here on the left, click on the plus sign, and there's my address there. So that's what everyone needs to do. They need to do exactly the same for FuelCoin to get a FuelCoin address. Is that right?
It's just that easy.
Yeah. So, and this is obviously a free platform. They do charge a small minimum amount for buying and receiving and sending, don't they? But it's very minimal, isn't it, Bittrex? 0.5%.
Yeah, it's 0.02 of a FuelCoin to withdraw the funds.
Right.
But yeah. Buying and selling, it's 0.25% for both the buyer and the seller.
That's right. Yeah.
And by the way, going direct, you don't pay any exchange fees.
All right. Okay. Yeah. You don't. Yeah. Going direct where now to
through you or other distributors.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, Craig has just said, but you know, Craig Hart, I've just gone and bought some on Bittrex, so I'm not sure how many you bought, Craig, but like I said, we were just saying, come directly through myself, because you're gonna get a better deal than going straight to the exchange. But that's entirely up to you, isn't it? It's entirely up to him, really, isn't it? I can't make people come to me. If they want to go to the exchange, it's up to them, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's totally fine, and we encourage people to go to the exchange. It's not going to be 100% of the time that they're going to get a better deal, but it's highly likely that they will. Coming direct.
Yeah. Okay, that's great.
But if they're getting a better deal on Bittrex, we're talking maybe 10 or 20 satoshis. It's not even worth talking about.
Right. Okay, that's fair enough. Okay. Cheers, Matthew. Let me just see if there's any more questions coming in. Have I got any more questions? We've been going for well over an hour. We still got 23 people on this side of the call and 27 people on the YouTube channel live. So nice bit of a following. You mentioned a comment earlier, Gary, to me that FuelCoin has 4 times the supply of Bitcoin, but FuelCoins are all distributed in somewhat in a wallet. Can you explain what you mean by that?
Well, all of the FuelCoins that are going to exist today. All of the Bitcoins that are going to exist do not exist today. There's only about half, or a little over half the supply of Bitcoins are actually on the market. So that's the difference there. All of the FuelCoins have been sold to somebody at some price.
And that's better from what point of view is that better to be of all the coins distributed? Why is that better?
It's better because there's no new coins being generated by the network and thrown onto the market, putting a huge downward pressure on the price.
Right, yeah, you mentioned that earlier, that's great.
Now let's pretend that FuelCoin has the exact same penetration into the market as Bitcoin does today. And just for round numbers, we'll say that Bitcoin's $600. Well, there are 4 times as many FuelCoins as Bitcoin. So FuelCoin would be $150 with the same penetration today.
Well, okay, that's brilliant. Okay, that's great. Prakash is asking, what is a good amount to buy? Obviously, we can't advise on how many FuelCoins to buy. Everyone's financial situation is different. How would you answer that, Gary? What is the good amount to buy?
I never do anything that I can't afford, and I would never endanger my family in any way, shape, or form by doing something silly. Be safe, be smart. You need to be careful that you don't overextend yourself. I guess my point.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Craig is just saying he bought 3,000. He bought 3,000 FuelCoins or so, and will be transferring from Bitcoin from Bitstamp shortly. He's just doing it as a test. He's saying just to learn how to do it. Basically, that's what he's saying. So I suppose a lot of people like that, Gary. They want to log in and buy some coins themselves on the exchange just to get a feel for how things work, you know?
Oh, of course, yes, and we encourage that. And if they need help, we're here to help.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. KK is asking the credit of coins in the FuelCoin, the credit of coins in the FuelCoin wallet. When will it be, and what's the price? I'm not sure if I understand that question. Do you understand that?
It sounds like, when will I have my coins? We generally try to process these quickly. If you're going direct, we're dealing with Adrian and myself being on different time zones and different planets.
One of the guys that sent me money, maybe one of the guys that sent me money earlier, just send me a message, KK, on Facebook Messenger, just as an update after this call, and I can accelerate that and get that done for you. So that's fine, KK. Just give me a message on Facebook or WhatsApp or text me, and we'll catch up after this call. Alan Jones is saying he's just opened a Bittrex account and it took 30 seconds. So that's great.
It's easy. Yep.
So, okay, Gary. So looks like we're coming to the end. Unless you've got any more questions, I'm just checking through my notes if I got any more questions. Yeah, the most common question I find with cryptocurrency is obviously, as we spoke earlier, how do you tell if it's a scam or not, and if it's real? But what blockchain is FuelCoin using? Somebody's just texted me that question. What blockchain is FuelCoin using?
FuelCoin is using the FuelCoin blockchain, and it's hosted at chains.cryptoid.com.
That's right. We touched on that. I'll share my screen once more. We touched on that earlier. Let me just share my screen again. There you go. Chain Z. There you go. There it is. There. Okay. Let's look down the coins here. PeerCoin is FuelCoin is next to. I thought I seen it next to PeerCoin. Is this what's the format of this crypto of this chain? Is it in any particular order or order of what? Order of volume or
on market cap. Yeah, this is an unvetted market cap. I can tell you that the very top coin, the WEX coin, has absolutely no distribution, and it's a fake number at 78 cents a piece with 5 billion coins. It isn't accurate. That's why coin market cap is a better reflection of the true condition of the markets.
Right. Well, there's FuelCoin. It's down there at 1.something million. Just seen it there. I've lost it again.
It reorganizes it on overall market cap value, and market cap value is the total supply times the current street price.
There it is there. 1.3 million market cap.
So it went up.
Yeah. What was that market cap a couple of days ago? It was nothing like that, was it? It was nothing, was it?
$68,000.
Yeah. So it's as the market cap increases, that's good for the coin itself. Is that right?
That's absolutely correct, because the market cap increases as the price goes up.
Well, what do you say? Just probably finish off here. You mentioned once a coin gets to a certain price, and people start to notice. Once it starts to get into the top 10, I don't know, top 20, 30, or top 30, 40 or 50, people start to notice it, and they just speculate and they just buy the coin anyway without having any clue what they're buying. And then you get serious guys then, like serious, possible investors that just stick a load of money into it. Is that right?
Yeah, there is anywhere between $30 and $70 million a day trading hands in the altcoin trading world. And as soon as one starts to show any general concept of performance, I've seen $4 and $5 million being dumped into a market in a 24-hour period. Nothing flat, no advertising, nothing. It just happens. It gets viral.
Wow. Okay, that's great to hear. And Babu is asking, how many coins can he get for £1,000? Well, to work that out, you'd have to convert that into Bitcoin first, and then how would you work that out, guys? £1,000, you'd have to convert it into Bitcoin first, and then divide the Bitcoins by the Satoshi value today, isn't it?
Isn't that about 1.5 Bitcoins?
Yeah, £1,000 is probably about $1,200. So it's probably about 2 Bitcoins.
Yeah, so it's 2. You can do the math, Adrian. 2 divided by 0.00040 zeros and a 2-1.
Yeah, 2 divided by 4 zeros and 2-1.
Yep.
That's 95,238 FuelCoins.
Somewhere in there, just under 100,000. Yep.
Yeah, 95,238 FuelCoins. So if the day ever arose and we did hit a $1 for the coin, that would be $95,000. If we got to 10 cents, that would be $9,500. Am I right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So there you go, guys. That's an interesting.
Unless Bitcoin doubles.
Yeah, and if Bitcoin doubles to $1,200 plus, then obviously that's going to FuelCoins will double anyway, wouldn't
it? If our Satoshi price doesn't change at all, we're going to get the benefits from the Bitcoin doubling. If our price doubles and Bitcoin doubles, you get 4 times the money.
Yeah, wow, that's incredible. Right, okay, guys. I'm starting to get a bit burnt out here. We could probably do these hangouts see how things go, Gary. Perhaps once every, I don't know, once every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or perhaps even once a week. I was see how things progress. See how it goes, you know.
I think would be nice to do, Adrian, is that we do an open call like this once a week, and then maybe another call just for technical support and real questions. Not for. We'd like to have one that everybody can get their friends to come in and listen to. That is an overview kind of thing and really gets people encouraged. We could talk about the state of the coin. We'd like to do that weekly, but I'd also like to set up a separate time that we can actually answer specific questions like, why does my wallet look like this? What is the difference with that? You know, get a little more technical. I think we want to try to keep the weekly call kind of broad. I don't want to get too specific on calls because people's eyes glaze over. What do you think of that? Yeah,
okay, that sounds interesting. And if you want to start getting more technical, can we do that through the people in the Skype group, or do you want me to set up a separate Facebook group, or do you just want to come onto a call like this? You mean to go more technical?
I think it wouldn't hurt to do another technical phone call, but of course, anybody who does purchase FuelCoins, let's go ahead and see if we can get them into the FuelCoin Consortium group, because there's people there willing to answer questions all the time.
That's the Skype group, is it?
Yep, and I haven't introduced you to that yet. That's going to be my big news for the rest of the world.
That's right, yeah. Once I'm in there, I can start adding then my guys. I can just add them in myself then, can't I?
Absolutely. So I'm thinking tomorrow morning, I'm going to officially and formally announce you to them, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Kes Tutis is saying he's got $500 ready for me. Yes, get in touch after this webinar, and I'll sort that $500 out for you. Kes Tutis. Okay, Lindsay's been in touch. That's great. I'll get you into the Skype group, Lindsay. Yeah, no problems. So I think that's it, Gary. We've covered quite a bit, and yeah, I'll add you in as well, Matthew. We've covered quite a bit. This has been recorded, so I'll get this recording out to people who couldn't get on at the start of the call because only 25 people was allowed on to this particular sort of software. We had about 24 people on the YouTube side of things, so we had about 50 people plus, which is quite good for the first time. So you want to do this every week, Gary? Is it every Thursday at the same time, or? Gary?
I'm there. Yes.
Do you want to do this every Thursday at the same time, keeping it quite as we have today, and do that?
Yeah, let's do that. This works perfect. Thursday at 9 yours, 1 mine works perfect for me. And maybe we'll look at actually getting a different platform that can accept more people. But not the next time, but you know, we'll look into it.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. All right then. We're gonna call it a night, guys, and. Yes, Alan, sounds good for Thursday 9 o'clock, and we'll keep this going as a regular thing every week. So thanks again, Gary, and I'll catch up with you later, Gary. If not, I got a few orders to send through to you as well. I'll be doing that in the next hour before I head off to bed, and I'll catch up with you, Gary, on a private call, probably no later on tomorrow. Okay?
That sounds good. Thank you, everybody, for your time. I appreciate you listening.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Cheers, Gary. Good night, everyone. Cheers, Gary.